What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And so today we are going to be doing a review of my bike, as I said in the last video. From what I understand, like the last video didn't do too well because everyone thought it was very boring. And I apologize. I mean, most people don't watch the first video anyway because it's not that interesting. But starting from now, the videos will be much more like entertaining to watch because once it can kind of warm up, because here in Utah it's been like 30 degrees every day, even though it's sunny, but it's freezing. So we should be able to start doing the riding videos here soon. But today, as I said, we will be doing a review on my 2007 Dakar XLT. So I kind of mentioned this in the last video. So my first ever professional bike is my Trek Marlin 5, which is right there. And so kind of the story behind this bike was I rode the Trek for quite a while. And so, you know, it worked good, but I don't like hardtails that much. And like, it's still a sick bike. And so I was looking on a website looking for a full suspension, and I found this downhill bike and stuff. So I talked to my friend about it and stuff, and he just said it was good. So he's just told me he had a bike that he would give me for free, and because no one in his family used it. And so they took it to a bike shop for me. And so yeah, as I said in the last video, I only got it about like maybe 2 months ago. And so it's been good. I love full suspensions. Like, as I said, I've had Walmart bikes my whole entire life. So it's kind of nice to have a good bike that works good. And as I also mentioned in the last video, is since I'm 6 feet tall and this bike is size small, it still fits me, but obviously it's still kind of small. So I had been able to like shred so much harder on this bike because for me, wanting to be a downhill racer, it's so much easier to like kind of feel what that's like. And it's just nice being able to go over rocks and stuff and like all these big things with this, and it just makes it so much smoother. So what I'm going to talk about first is the things I dislike about this. So I'd have to say the first thing is, one of the things I really hate is just the fork. So most mountain bikes, the arch on the fork is on the front. So if we come over here, this is my Trek, good old flat tire. You can see on the fork, the arch is over the front, and that makes it look cool. But on this, it still works the same because it's still holding the fork like apart so it doesn't go in. But the arch is on the backside, so I'm wondering if I ever get a mud guard, if it will still work the same. It doesn't look that bad, but still, it would look so much better if it was on the front. I think the second thing I have to say is probably these pedals. I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up if these are the pedals that like came on the bike in 2007, but they're just really like big, meaty, clanky metal pedals with like the prongs. And I've scratched my shin so many times, and like they still work, but I'll just have to get some skinnier ones and stuff because I'd much rather have flat pedals, and these are flat pedals, but still they're metal and they just add so much more weight to it. It has kind of been nice though, because if I ever scratch the pedals on something, since they're metal, you can't really tell that anything has happened to it. Unlike plastic pedals, how it came on that bike, get a ton of scratches, but on this is just, they're good, but still, I'd rather get some lighter ones. So I think this is going to be the last thing I really dislike about this bike, and that is the external cable routing. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like that. I mean, it's not bad. The only thing is that when I pedal, or when I compress my rear shock, the cable will go against my leg, and it always, like, I wonder what that is. And so Yeah, it's just cables, and on my Trek I have internal cable routing, which I love so much better because it made it look so much cleaner, especially on the top, like how this is where the cables are just all over. So as you can see, bunch of cables along the top, and it still looks alright, but as you can tell on the Trek with the internal cable routing where they go in the down tube, it just looks so much cleaner. Alright, let's talk about my favorite things about this bike. And so definitely, I'm pretty sure most people would see this coming, but my most favorite thing about this bike probably has to be the rear shock. So this bike comes stock with a Fox Float R from 2007, and it works amazingly. So this is how far it can compress as when I just push down on it. And then when I sit down on it, as you can see, it compresses all the way almost, especially when I jump. And then the fork has very good suspension, unlike the Trek. The fork doesn't compress that well, but this definitely has some good compression to it. And I also got the pressure thing right here that I can just change. Pressure, it's something, I don't even know what in the day I would call it. But I made that so it's pretty soft just for me, and it works perfectly. So another thing I love about this bike is that it has Maxxis ignitors. And so I love it because I'm basically just dissing my Trek right now. On the Trek, the tread, I can't remember what the tires are called, but the tread went out so fast on them, and so I basically had no traction, especially doing uphill. But on these have nice, like, thick tread, especially for how much I use my back brake, and there's still a lot to it. And so Maxxis is another one of those, like, really good bike, car, ATV tire things, and so they just look nice on here too, and they work really well, especially for like uphills and stuff. They just grab on, and doing like corners, they just grip really, really well. One of my other favorite things on this bike is these grips. These are not the stock grips. I actually got these for Christmas, but as you can tell, these are by Raceface, and they look super nice on here, and they work really good with my gloves. Most of the hardware for this bike is by Shimano, so I have Shimano shifters on here. And then my derailleur is also by Shimano as well. And so I need to also get that tuned up eventually because the chain slips, and so obviously it's not the most perfect bike, but it works and I love it. So when I got this bike, I looked it up and it was priced around $1,300 in 2007. And I found one on Pink Bike and it was priced around $900, so that's about what it's worth, from about like $900 to $1,000 depending on what condition the bike is. So I'm surprised because I've took this through a lot of like wooded areas and stuff, and you can't really even tell there's scratches on here, which I love. And so I just love the color for it. It's gray. As I said, you can't tell there's much scratches on it. And so I had never heard of Jameis until my friend told me about it, and I got it. So I kind of looked up their bikes and just saw that they're a really good brand. So that's basically the whole review of this. There's not really much to it, but that's basically all. So when you see my videos up until probably spring or summer when I get my new bike, this is going to be riding. And so it's worked for me like for a while, and I just especially love because on my Trek it uses tubes, and I think I've gone through about 7 tubes on each tire, which if you add that up in money, because they're about $7.50 for a tube, that's just way too much. So yeah, those tires go out super easily. You get a sticker in it and boom, it's flat. But these, like the Maxxis tires, and I'm pretty sure the tires are tubeless. I've got so many stickers inside these too, and I just pull them out and like they're still completely pumped up, which I've been loving because living in Utah, more of the kind of desert area, there's a lot of stickers and stuff, and so you get those a lot in your tires, and so, which is a good thing because I've gone through way too many tubes. So far, the only mods I've done to this bike really is the new grips and the bars, because On the stock bars that came with, which I put on my Trek, they're really skinny, and for me, since my arms are long, okay, I like wider bars, and so these bars fit me perfectly. And so before, you know, like they're about like right here on the stock ones, but these are much wider. And so I took these bars from my Trek, and then I put the stock bars from this onto my Trek. So the Trek looks alright, but I'm selling it eventually. But yeah, this bike has been a beauty for me so far, and it works, and like it sends, and I'm really surprised it does. For being now, it would be 14 years old from 2007. And it's worked really well, and it jumps and it goes over like rock gardens and stuff, and it's really fast too. Definitely needs a lot of work. Like before I ever maybe sell this, who knows, I'm gonna do much more work to it just to get it perfectly running, because there is some things still wrong with it that the bike shop didn't take care of, so I'll have to just do that myself. But yeah, I love it, and it works for me. And so obviously, I've said in the last video, I don't have money for a brand new bike. Yeah, I don't have money for a brand new bike, but this will work for now, and it works perfectly. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you will leave a like or something. And I know like videos like this might not be interesting really to anybody. I mean, I watch bike reviews just as a biker, and so yeah, I enjoy it. So if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope you will leave a like or something, and I'm really hoping we can make some better videos soon. I also need to get a GoPro, as I said. So yeah, we should be able to do the bike edit soon. It'll be super cool. That'll get me able to work on my editing a little bit more and stuff, and so it'll look really cool, and these videos will be so much funner and enjoyable to watch. But if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope you did. But until next time, we will see you later. Goodbye.